In this particular video, I'm going to share with you what an anchor is and how you can use it to your advantage to brainwash yourself to start reaping the type of result that you so deserve as far as your life is concerned. You don't want to miss this one. Dimitri here. Let's get right into it. The first thing I'd like to say is that your brain is a powerful computer. Its power has absolutely nothing to do with its size. As a matter of fact, when it comes to the size of your brain, it's actually much smaller than the size of the brain of an elephant. It's much smaller, infinitely much smaller than the size of the brain of a whale. So, when it comes to what it can do, you don't have to look so much to its size, but you simply have to look at what it can do for you. Because the brain is a supercomputer that has been placed there for a particular reason, for you to shine from one achievement to the next, from one accomplishment to the next. And you are meant to be going from mountaintop to mountaintops. But because most of us don't know how to use the brain, this is the reason why we remain at the foot of the mountain. That's number one. And more specifically, number two, the reason why you have to start paying attention to your brain as this supercomputer that can help you achieve super result is the following. The brain within your body may be smaller than the brain of a whale, may be smaller than the brain of an elephant. But this particular brain, what makes it stand out is that it has a structure that is not present in most animals out there. And the structure is simply called the Neo Cortex. The Neo Cortex, which is simply the home for funky things as far as your brain is concerned. It helps you do three tremendous things. It helps you think, it helps you memorize, it helps you with language. And this is something really key. So amongst the structure within the neocortex, we have the frontal lobe, which is basically the place of thinking. We have the occipital lobe, which is basically the place of vision. We have the parietal lobe, and we have the temporal lobe. But for today, I'm just going to focus on the frontal lobe and just see how we can use this particular part of thinking to start doing some tweaking to help you start achieving great and tremendous results as far as your life is concerned. The frontal lobe, the place of thinking. Let's think now. Yesterday I was talking about this key thing known as anchors, and many people basically send me questions as to where I was coming from when it comes to this concept of anchors. Let me just put it right away on the table. Whether you like it or not, there are some anchors right now that are commanding you, that are triggering you, that are causing you to behave in one way or the other, whether you like it or not. Because life as it is right now, we are all in a state of trance. So we are all caught up doing a set of different things, behaving in one particular way because we've been programmed to actually behave in such manner. Because we have internalized that this is who I am, and therefore I have to be doing this, I have to be having this, because this is consistent with the person I've actually designed as far as my mind is concerned. This becomes now the things that I have to live up to, and on a daily basis I am surrounded either consciously or unconsciously with these things I refer to as anchors that are simply helping you either anchoring yourself up or simply challenging yourself down. And before I go any further, let me just first of all define what an anchor is. An anchor is simply a creative association between a particular element in your environment and a particular state. You're going to say to yourself, I want to think thoughts of greatness. And as I'm thinking the thought of greatness, the moment someone putting this thought of greatness in my mind, all of a sudden there's a particular song playing in the background. We will rock you, whatever song it is. There's basically a song playing in the background telling you that yes, you are meant for great things. Guess what? As soon as this conversation is over, when that song plays again, either consciously or unconsciously, right away it brings you back to that particular place where for the very first time someone spoke over you, someone spoke into you and said that yes, I see greatness in you. And when you're feeling down, that minute you hear that song again, it's simply going to become a trigger or an anchor that's going to cause a particular reaction or a particular state to be induced within you. And this is something key. This can work either for the positive or for the negative. I gave the example yesterday of how missionaries went to Africa and started basically trying to strip leadership of everything that could remind them of the greatness they were carrying within them. And before you know it, leadership as far as the population found themselves at the mercy of the words of all these missionaries telling them that yes, now we're going to mold you to start thinking like us. Because without us, you can think properly. So they remove every anchor or every element that could help them associate themselves with any remnant of greatness within their DNA. And before you start thinking that this is completely wrong, let me tell you one key thing. Anchoring happens everywhere. Even in the Western world, the establishment is constantly trying to find ways to anchor the workforce to keep showing up every single day to do the work. And the workforce and our forefathers, our foremothers have been so conditioned to show up every single day, to work 9 to 5 for X number of years until they reach 65 or now, I don't know, depending on the country you are, until you reach age of retirement, and you simply go on to simply enjoy whatever is left within your body as far as life is concerned. That was basically the old way of thinking because they were programmed to think this particular way. They programmed the kids to go to school. And to learn certain skills in order for them to go join the workforce. And that was basically the programming. So that now with this new generation simply saying, no, I can't be going to school to get a degree, to get certificate, to go work for somebody else. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to go to a place of higher learning. But this learning I'm going to gain, it's not going to be for me to go work for somebody else. I'm going to go work for myself. I'm going to be working according to this new paradigm, the 4-hour work week. And people were conditioned to believe that you have to spend at least 40, 50, 60, 78 hours, 70 hours at work on a weekly basis. They look at this young generation, people saying, my goodness, what has the world come to? These people are losing their mind. Why? Because they've been conditioned to believe that that's the only way and there is no other way to put food on the table but to work at least 50 hours a week and to break your back in order for you to earn the right to bring something to your family. That was the old way of thinking, and they've been doing that because they were simply conditioned or programmed or anchored to think that way. I'm giving just one example and I'll stop and I'm going to give you an assignment. Here's the example. When in 1978, this young man by the name of Mike Tyson went to Catskill to be introduced to Customato for the very first time. He was barely 12 years old. But the social worker who brought him to Mike Tyson was only seeing a way out of the trouble that this young man had been running into. He said he loved to fight, but if I can bring him to Customato and Customato sees potential, he's going to take interest and it's going to mold him to become an athlete, a professional athlete that can use this fist to good use. That was his thinking. So when he brought him to Customato and Customato saw the potential and said, yes, I would like to train this young man, he did not see what was going to come next. Because Customato, being the master coach, the master trainer, also master hypnotherapist, he simply says, I have to find a way, a creative way to put this young man, Mike Tyson, in a state of trance. I have to anchor him up. I have to anchor his fist up. He has to see himself as an unstoppable fighting machine. I'm going to tie his head to this imaginary tree so that this young man know that yes, the only way as far as life is concerned is to be using this fist and to be dodging fists coming my way. So he started hypnotizing Mike Tyson. But he didn't just stop there. Here's the funny thing. Even Mike Tyson himself talks about it. He started taking him to sessions of hypnotherapy, where the young man will be simply taught how to focus on darkness, focus on emptiness around him. And now that he will be simply in a state where his brainwave will be open to ideas as far as conditioning is concerned, they'll be now putting seeds of this new ideal self he was supposed to be focusing on. They'll say to him, you are now fighting with both hands. You are using the left, you are using the right. You are using the left, you are using the right. You are dodging, you are dodging, you are dodging. You are using the left, you are using the right. You are using the left, you are using the right. You are. And they went on now to start putting ideas of the following. You are fighting with a level of ferocity that the world has never seen before. You are ferocious. And the idea of being ferocious was so now instilled in his mind with the right anchors around him, that by the time he will come out of this session and will get into the ring, he will be simply unstoppable. Why? Because his hands, his arm, his fist will now condition to keep working, number one, and to keep working with a level of ferocity that the world had never seen before. So with this in mind, let me just give you two more examples. I'm going to stop right there. Can you think of a song that you heard when something great was happening to you? And how every time that song plays now in the background, it puts you back in the same state. That's anchoring. That's number one. And if you don't believe in the power of the assignment I gave you yesterday when it comes to trying to figure out what were the positive voices in your life and trying to put element in your house, in your office to remind you of these people, let me just give you a counter assignment that's going to give you a glimpse of the power of this assignment. Can you think of someone who has done negative things as far as your life is concerned, negative things to you or to your family or to your loved ones? Can you think of this person? Can you imagine now going to take a picture of that one person and put it in your living room so that you yourself will be seeing it and the family member will be seeing it? And can you imagine the reaction that they're going to have as far as this finger is going to be? In a moment, they may act as if nothing happened, but chances are they're going to go out and act in a way absolutely hostile because of exposure to this negative anchor as far as whatever you post in your home is concerned. I'm going to stop right here. So your assignment for today is, please put in the comment section, how are you going now to anchor yourself as far as the success that you so deserve is concerned? What are the elements you're going to consider when it comes to anchoring yourself to see that you are going to become unstoppable? You're going to look at this one thing in your environment that's simply going to remind you of the potential you're carrying and the fact that you're unstoppable. What exactly are you going to do? Please leave me a comment in the comment section. I will have to see and actually respond to that. And by the way, I'm going to stop right here. But before I go very quickly, my heartfelt apologies to everyone who will be reaching out to me over the past few weeks when it comes to an opportunity to work with me on one-on-one coaching. I have been, as you can imagine, beyond overwhelmed. The demand is such that I am beyond. I'm trying my very best to qualify everyone that's coming my way to see how we can work together. But yeah, there's of course a big of delay, and for that, as you can say, yes, it's a good thing that I'm experiencing the delay because the demand is there. But I'm just going to find a way to now go through the list of people who are actually coming my way to see which one I can work with and which one I can refer to somebody else when it comes to whatever needs they may have as far as their goals and aspirations are concerned. All right, much love everyone. The best is yet to come, but now for the best we manifest it, remember the key thing is to be intentional. Anchor yourself, challenge yourself up as opposed to challenge yourself down. Make sure that you put something in your environment that's going to remind you of the greatness that you're carrying and the fact that you are simply unstoppable. Much love everyone. I'm out.